Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yusril. It is Friday, and that means it's time for Foundry Frolics. Today we're going to be looking at the first of the Purity missions. These are being done by StarbaseUGC. It's a featured episode series. Hopefully I will be able to get through the lot. We are going off to the Malon system in the Beta Ursae block, so initial jump will be to Deep Space Nine to save some time. So let's have a look. Exploration missions have little no oversight, and basically we're being sent in to investigate what looks like misappropriation of resources. So let's hail and get going. The hood be diverted to the Megara system, and liberties were taken. Right. By which he means somebody was engaging in kidnap and... well, let's find out. Head to the ready room and answer him. Alright, looks like I'm in the ready room. So, Starbase 214 may have been doing something dodgy. Somewhere away. Alright. However... alright, and the Admiral is going nuts yet again. Right, and we have backup from the USS Resnick. Let's go! Head for the bridge to the Malon system. All that glitters is dilithium. Transwarp drive online. Leave for Deep Space Nine and engage. Mental note. Have words with my chief engineer about the transwarp drive's calibration. Really have words with my chief engineer about the transwarp drive. Let's try that again. Transwarp. Engage. Better. So here we are at Deep Space Nine. Happy, quiet little system, except for the occasional galactic war that breaks out here and there. Minor thing, doesn't do much to the property prices. However, we're only stopping for a quick glance because we're heading straight on to the... what was it, the Malon system? I wasn't really... yes, the Malon system. I wasn't really paying attention in the briefing. Ah, well, at least it's convenient. There we are, 2.5 light years. Toddle. It's a completely peaceful and diplomatic investigation mission, which is why we're sending 2 starships, one of which is a battlecruiser that's armed to the teeth. So, begin Purity 1 of Denial. We're receiving a distress signal, 1 system over. Okay. Begin. We'll be 15 minutes late. Talk about slow to the party. That's what you get when you use your transwarp drive to get somewhere. It's discharge for the hop to the distress call. Right, who wants to bet the Resnick is in multiple pieces by the time this loads? Welcome to the Resnick system, or rather the Malon system, and what's left of the situation. Yeah, the Resnick is, oh, well, they're going for diving. Fine. Hi, guys. Go. And if you want to play with tractor beams, well, so can I. Tactics team up to rebalance, forward guns armed and online, and have a gravimetric torpedo. I don't know if you guys were carrying Omega, but that really doesn't matter anymore, you're all dead. So, the Resnick Galaxy class. Okay. Excessive force, yes, because dilithium has a tendency to go boom if you use excessive force. Right, the Resnick's hailing. With the expansion of the True Step, their raids, absolutely. How's the Resnick doing? Impulse drive's gone, they're on their maneuvering grid, they have no dilithium, which means no warp drive, and they need a tow. Well, let's see what the convoy needs. Okay, the Cordova is the lead ship. Right. New warp coils and intermix hit. Oh, great. They had to dump their entire cargo. Well, that's what you get for not having proper hazard systems in place. In other words, you want us to hand over our own dilithium. Yes! Okay, well, let's do it. So now we have no warp drive. Well, what the hell? Heh. Well, at least he's happy. Now, the question is, how is everyone else? What does the Burrowed need? Oh yeah, just more spare parts. Transport warp coils. Basically, we have no warp drive. Right. Excellent. What's she listening to? Radio Star, the future of something. Definitely will. Okay, let's see what we have. First contact info. Technology at an adequate level. Cultural maturity. Are these guys warp capable? However, it did mean that prototype warp probe. Okay, so they were on the point of warp drive. Vast amounts of dilithium, low priority. Okay. And what do we know about the background? Several disciplinary hearings. Okay, disabled. Shrell. Right, so he's a sciences background, command file with dedication. And Captain Palor. First in family to year in hospital after defending a Packled and given a combination for bravery. Fair enough. Okay, so he has a spine if he's picked up the Pike Medal of Valor. Right, so that warp probe. Well, we shall see. Let's get the tractor beam onto the Resnick and see what needs to be done. Warp drive at 60%, we are ready to tow. Engage. Won't be his most graceful entrance, as he says, but at least he gets to make an entrance. I'm sure we could have salvaged some of that dilithium, though. I mean, whatever happened to their packing systems? Anyhow, open the day with some dead Jem'Hadar, so that's good. Right, who wants to bet that prototype warp probe was nothing of the kind? Also, that they're all either crazy, complicit, or in a conspiracy. Mind you, complicit and in a conspiracy are pretty much the same thing. Who cares? Right, doobie-doobie-doo. Mind you, 15 minutes for a convoy raid with no active opposition. Okay, power, impulse power. Things have just gone horribly wrong. On screen and patch Impala. Right. Read the first contact report. Yeah, that figures. I did read it. Excellent. Right. Lithium. Delta reserved. Continue. Yes. Indeed. So, the Admiral is running her own private little empire out here, it would seem. Well, that's nice of them. Okay, so Orbital Station Delta, and the Allentown is a refit Excelsior by the look of it. No, standard Excelsior. Class really should learn to tell the difference. I drive an Excelsior often enough. Right, Orbital Station Delta is the one down. Yeah. Nope. There we go. Okay, so do we think the Admiral is strong-arming the First Minister? Seems plausible at this stage. Initiate transfer. And this is where it probably goes horribly wrong. No? Okay, interesting. Alright, let's have a chat. Answer the hail. Okay, all the dilithium here is from Parkel Ponson of highest quality. Okay. What does he know about dilithium? All the know. Okay, so basically he knows nothing. So he trades dilithium and you trade technology. Really? We had our own trade people. Okay, the Prime Directive went 6 ways to Sunday, didn't it? What was life like before? Minister of Resettlement? The Sajan between... Okay, who are the Sajan and why am I smelling an even bigger rat? They're the ones who do the work. What do you remember for this colour? What happened after that? Oh! Right! Met with Dalganto, it was executed on the spot by... Okay, that's fascinating. Right. Thank you. That's him. Okay. Right, and then impulse drives are online. Continue. The Parkel Province mine. So we let Paolo run the open investigation, we do the covert stuff. Makes sense. Certainly. It won't be necessary. May as well be polite about these things. Right, head for the transporter room. Right. Better swap this around a little. Bring Talas along so we have some engineering backup. Actually, which of my engineers is carrying the awaiting gear at the moment? Talas, status. Yes, it is you. Good, right. Energize. Welcome to the Parkel Province, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people working, a lot of equipment, and we are not here to interfere. You just know it's going to end up with a firefight. Well, let's start by scanning the area, get the background information. Right. Okay, so there is another sentient species on the planet. Okay, that's interesting. And let me guess, the Urbani are in charge. So what do we need to do? Speak with the guards, speak with Myers, examine the equipment. Let's have a chat. Yeah. I'm smelling slave labour and a heavily armed conquest here. Let's have a word. Talk to Miner. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they will, especially when you're pointing phaser rifles at them. Let's go have a look at this gear. Also, look at the guy who is turbo pounding that crate. Good to see some enthusiasm. Scan equipment. What do we got? Iron ore. Weak steel alloys. So, they're mining iron? Right, that's interesting. What are they doing for equipment? Okay. Right. Yeah. Definitely rat being smelt. Just mine iron, gold in the main yields, but there's all dilithium. No, they don't. That's just a rumour. With the possible exception of Setka Galumbits, but I don't think she's an Orion. She's certainly not from Orion, at any rate. Let's have another look at this equipment. Surplus and Dominion War. They were on black powder weapons? Right. Well, the good news is we have top-of-the-line gear, but bolt action? I don't think... Right, so let's review. The Abani very clearly weren't warp capable. You don't develop the basis of warp drive when you're still using black powder weapons. Anti-grav loader is Cardassian, yeah, fully functional though. So prime directive is shot beyond recognition, purely to get the dilithium. Okay. Right, so looks like we have a Romulan-Riemann situation playing out, and we all know how that one ended a few hundred years later with the planet going boom. Hopefully it won't be necessary. Let's talk to Sergeant Hay. Okay, the administrator knows we're here. Excellent. Let's check in with Palor first, see what's going on. Hail the Resnick. Splinter species? No, because the tech gap is too large. Indeed it is. But we really need more evidence before we throw an admiral into the brig. Right, so basically they're using hired personnel, and the station Delta manager has gone missing. Oh wait, that was the guy we talked to, wasn't it? Well, he's probably dead. Let's go head off to this head office. Where's the path? Up this way. Toddle, 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 and it's raining. Good thing the uniform's waterproof. Less good that I'm in a different mode. So, onwards, onwards, onwards. Are we about to be ambushed, I wonder? It's an Federation attack. Oh, what a surprise. Wait a minute. I'm using the wrong weapon load. Equip. And just quietly equip as well. Hi guys, thank you for the obligation of waiting for me. Have a grenade. Sincerely meant as thanks. Okay, tell me we remember to fit the stun setting. No, we apparently didn't. Bugger. I needed to talk to this lot. Mind you, I do have one with a plasma flamethrower. Those things don't exactly have non-lethal options. Right. Slave race? Very likely. No report in the first contact, no nothing about forced labour. Old surplus phaser rifles. Well, let's keep going. Fortunately, it's Dominion War surplus, so it's not exactly great. Congratulations, guys! No one else within 300 meters. Let's move. One injured guard. Not sure how many of them are actually dead or just stunned. 20 cc's of cortisone. That's gonna drive him nuts! Okay. That's a... yeah. They're dead. Okay, right. Give him some time to compose himself again. Right, we were simply moving them. So they executed her and moved on. Right, they're dead. Probably more further incidents, and they did fire first, so was that technically an ambush? Oh, who cares? Let's keep moving. Onwards and upwards, onwards and upwards. Better holster up the weapons. We can be discreet here. So what do we have? More civilians. And a head office. Okay, Cadet, who on earth left you in the center chair? Right, emergency transport to the bridge, and we're getting blasted. Well, I hope I'm going to get my ship back in one piece. Well, the damage is done, so we're probably going to have to send in a cultural team to repair what's going on. Right. Although in truth, if we manage this properly, we could probably have the place back on its feet in 5 or 10 years. Although there'll have to be a certain amount of reconciliation, and the current government will be going down. There's no other way to do that without the Sejani doing it violently, so that transition might as well be managed. And I hope the Admiral likes the climate in New Zealand, because that's going to be messy beyond belief. Right. Let's see what's awaiting us in here. Also, we have no ship. Hopefully the Galaxy class we left in orbit will be more or less operational by the time that's done. And if Flores bends the hood, I'm going to bend her. Then throw her out of an airlock. Accidentally, of course. Right. Administrator Keldon is in an emergency meeting. Let's take a look at what's in the lobby. So, sit and wait is not the end of this. Let's have a look at this painting. Right, so a few unknown Abai and an Andorian captain. Artistic license. Yes. Let's have a look at the rest of the displays. Oh, at least it stopped raining, miraculously. What else do we have? Read book. Aliens make contact with Mr. Dalgan. Fractite. Further information as we receive it. Okay, and read the book again. The Life of Fajin Dagal. Here's some of each chapter. So basically, he got in with nepotism, iron-fisted control, an obligation to inflict. Basically, this is an ingrained bit of case system we've got. The Deputy Minister appointed Dagan the new Minister of the Western Continent. Okay, so basically he then appoints all his cronies. And Captain Schrull makes contact. Of course, Schrull needs the dilithium and agrees to prop up the regime. By force, as it happens. So, that's basically enough to put Captain Schrull into the stockade for a few years as well. And I apparently have decided to sit on the floor. It's comfortable packed dirt. Right. Okay, let's have a few questions. No matter. We're heading upstairs. Also, I note that we have hostile tags on the blip. What do we have? Obani. Well, heading up and following the path. Okay. Really? What makes you think you got the best stuff? I mean, seriously, guys? Nice bit of context sensitive there, by the way. Anyhow, that's dealt with that little skirmish. Unfortunately, we now have some explaining to do. Going down. Wounds consistent with point-blank phases. And the Resnick is out of contact, which probably means they're having their own problems. Let's go talk to the ambassador. Elevator out of order. What do you know? We're taking the stairs. Even in the future, nothing works. Holster up. And let's go. Where's the administrator? Indeed. Why does that matter? Ha! I suppose we could just cut this and say, yep, skip to the surrender. Or I could just put a shotgun into your head. What's his side of the story? Yeah. So they were a sentry of first contact. Fair enough. Well, here we go. Initiate that. And also, Defiance. No, it's not available at the moment. Just have to keep the ground combat coming. Have another grenade, guys. It'll be fun. And you fall over. So can that, by the way. That's one wave down. And I think we've just about got the grips on the other. Are you dead yet? Yeah, well that wasn't a mild surprise. Oh wait, there's a few more. Oh, sorry Talers. You, over. There we go. Right, so that's the immediate ambush dealt with. Now we're just stuck on a hostile planet with our ship way out of reach. And yeah. Okay. Given more time, would you consider taking the deal? Only to infiltrate the plot and expose it. Palor, get us out of here now for preference. Great. Okay, reconfigure. Let's try this again, see how badly it goes wrong. Okay, we've got him. Right. And the Allentown's on an intercept. Oh, terrific. Energize, get us off the planet. At least once we're in space we can fire back. An Excelsior versus a Galaxy. Should be interesting. Unfortunately, that Excelsior is probably amped up. And mind you, she was officially a second-line ship. So, who knows? This could be a interesting scrap. Unfortunately, the hood is still out of range dealing with the convoy. Right. Right, welcome to the bridge. Well, at least he's got the retro style going. Commander. Allentown is still closing and hostile. Right. Okay, no problem. It's been a while, but I'll do it. Behind the opposition to the left. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Someone else's chair has been said. Activate the console. Reconfigure as science. New. Okay, you want to hail Darrigan and not Cardana. Okay, fair enough. Right, okay, he had a ace in the hole himself. No, he won't. I can frantically mash console buttons or I can jam the signal. Right, jam the signal. Hail the hood, we're probably getting jammed on that as well. We're jammed, continuing. Okay, right. Polarize the hull. And jam their sensors. I should really be sitting at the console for this, but who cares? Okay, did that work? Oh, terrific! Provide... We're on damage control. Excellent. Let's get going. Get him alive first. Or not. We really have to install better fuses on these bridge. Keep things going. Next up. Looks very dead to me. Right. 10cc's core team. What is it with you guys in core Drizzy? I'm going to be dealing with lunatic crewmen for a week. Okay, we are sorted again. Get that fire out. Contain quickly, and there we go. Force fields online. Bypass at subspace J. Right. Repair internal comms. Ouch! Plasma leak. Right. Bugger. No, he's not. Right, antenna's still firing, and oh dear, we're about to crash. Well, at least there's an atmosphere. Please tell me it's breathable. Okay, we're abandoning. So much for the Galaxy class. What is it with galaxies in combat situations? Half the time they seem to go pop. Right, and there we are, bailing out of a Galaxy class with an Excelsior up our backside and hostile away teams right behind us. Ending on a cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen. So, next week this will be continued with Purity 2 and full credit to the UGC team. It's a slow opener, it has to be said, but we shall see. And I'll do that later, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Yusril. That has been the Foundry Frolics for Friday the 20th of December, and I'll see you next time.